This is Critical Nonsense, our high-low-brow show about culture, science, and tech. This week, Aaron asks me about waving from boats and trains.
Woo! There were nights when the wind was so cool. This is what a Celine Aaron sounds like on a really weird Friday that we are recording a podcast with Jess. And this is what executive producer and Celine Dion superfan Jess Vander sounds like.
Hi, this is Jess. It's all coming back to me now.
Yes. It is the Aaron and Jess show today. Josiah has
Woohoo!
left us to go be busy with things, work and stuff. Boo.
Whatever.
Executing. not executing, executing.
Executing. It's
silly.
like a new age Pokemon.
Yes. Ooh, it is executing. I don't know what sounds Pokemon make, so I just said the name of it again.
Yeah, there was
good enough.
There was the Executor palm tree Pokemon that is. It sounds like the more evolved form of executing.
I like this. Yeah, this
Yes,
is good,
it is.
and I think this is evidence that our house is clean. That we slid right into Pokemon. Just like I think that's probably a good sign.
Bye,
that people should-
Joey.
Yeah. You're not here. We're gonna be executing without
Yeah, that's
you.
right.
Rate, review, subscribe wherever you get your fine podcasts.
You have a
Jess,
thing?
I do.
Okay, cool. I want to know what it is.
I went to Knott's Berry Farm with my loving husband, as I do, being a roller coaster aficionado and all that. And,
Right.
for those who aren't familiar, Jess, maybe you're amongst those. Knott's Berry Farm is a California-based, LA-based amusement park close to Anaheim. It's it's close to Anaheim, near Disneyland. It's a great park. It's owned by Cedar Fair, nay Six Flags. That's a longer podcast episode. And it's a fun park. It's really home styley, down home, and they've got a really fun, like, old timey train that you can get on and do a little loop around the park. And so Branch and I got on the little train, started going around the park, and Branch immediately just starts waving at people. Just like, he's sitting in the window, and it's not just like a regular wave, it's that slow, like, wave that people on boats and trains do. Yeah, it's like almost elbow, wrist, or it's like you just like put yourself in slow motion doing it.
Right.
And it's like people who are not on your mode of transit, they wave back. They
Yes!
stop and they light up, and it's like, but if you did that and you were on the ground, they would be like, what are you doing? Like, why are you standing the exact same distance away from me and waving that way? And they'll just give you like weird cockeyed sort of face. So I'm pulling you into the conversation that we had with a pretty simple question, which is, why do we wave from trains and boats?
Wow. Yes.
Mm.
Why do we? Or maybe more importantly, why do people eagerly wave back?
It's the
Right?
wave back. Yep.
It's
Yep.
like that it's like, why is it that in so many other parts of our lives we cannot communicate, see each other as real people? Like, we struggle in so many other areas, but if there is a grand birth between us by some massive vehicular transport, we are thrilled at the human connection that is barely tethered between us.
And I feel like it is a deeply human thing.
Yes.
Because the first people to always wave back are kids. Kids are always the first ones. Below like 7 years old, they're immediately like, ooh, you're waving. I see you. Hello.
That's hypothesis number one. I see you. It's the Where's Waldo thing of like, ha, spotted. That person's waving. I should wave back as like a Yes, spotted. Like you looked for me and I looked for you and we played this little Marco Polo and now like I won the game. Like it is a little bit of that.
It is. And I don't know if this is necessarily, this I guess just reinforces the Where's Waldo of it all, is like often when you're on a boat or a train, you are with lots of other people and you as the passenger feel kind of like a part of the masses. You feel invisible.
Yes.
And you're like swallowed by a machine too. So there's like all this stuff around you, which really makes the Where's Waldo of it all for the landlubbers or the station dwellers all the more exciting because it's like, haha, window 2, I see human. Haha, hello, human. Even though there are tons of them in the other windows who aren't waving. I love that Where's Waldo-ness.
Yes. Okay. Hypothesis number 2, Aaron. I think there's like a little bit of an armor action going on. Like the safety of I am so far that if this social interaction does not pan out, like there's so little to lose and I'm not I don't have nothing to be afraid of. I feel secure and safe and best case scenario. Like it's like the duck boat phenomenon where it's like I'm on a duck boat quacking away. Like why do I feel okay? In most normal scenarios, as a lone pedestrian walking on a city street, would I ever be quacking away? No. But in the comforts of the duck boat, with the shield of other quackers next to me, I am unstoppable.
Yes. You live your quacking dreams. You do. It is true. It is a weird place where we let all of our social guards down. The opposite of this might be like one of the hypotheses around where toasting comes from is like middle-aged knights who were trying to get a little bit of the drink in each other's glass to prove that it wasn't poisoned. And so they would clink their glasses to get that in there and then they would sip and it's like, yes, we can trust each other. And it's like, this is like the far away version of that. It's like, I don't even have to worry about these things. We're so far away. We're safe. We're like, it's good distance. And maybe that safe not corrupts, but swallows you whole. And that's what's like, I can do whatever I want on this mode of transit.
And like, you know what's one level crazier than like a duck boat to a kid on the side is a duck boat and another duck boat. Just being like, God. Oh shoot, like there they are.
Yes.
That's somebody just like us. Like we're suddenly in a rivalry because now we are the two knights of Quack Town
and look at us as we festoon our way through our beautiful pastures. I don't know that festooning is the right word. It would be
I liked it.
Laced with festoonery. But the other place that makes me think of is like stadiums and like cameras that are in stadiums when they like go around the crowd. And it's like, I guess that's more for hypothesis 1, but it's like this idea of when you're in the masses, you feel like you disappear. And then it's like, oh no, I am here. And then there's a little bit of fame to it too, of like, everyone can see that I am here.
Yes.
Which is
I love that. The micro fame, that feels like definitely its own thing. That feels like why you wave. You're like, I am a big deal.
You know what? I think that's hypothesis 3 is that we both want to be seen as a big deal and we like acknowledging big deals. Like that's why we wave back is like, you are on a boat. You are on a train. Yes. Like I'm not and you are. So I see what you're amazing. You're above it all.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know why this. I think it's just because of the mention of the knights. It also makes me think of just like medieval times. Does medieval times have a jumbotron in it usually?
Please hold while your party checks to see if medieval times has a jumbotron. In the meantime, for the listeners, can you explain what medieval times even is?
Well done. Love buying some time. So medieval times, there are a few of them that are throughout the country. They're big arenas where you can go and imagine yourself being in or being a peasant in the medieval times, and you get to eat giant turkey legs. You get to watch people joust on horses, and it's supposed to be this really, really kitschy Ren fair in a box type experience. And we've got a few of them. Like you'll see a lot of the events that you see at Ren fairs, Ren short for Renaissance fairs. Around different cities. I know in New York and Fort Tryon Park, there's usually one every year. And there is a medieval times arena, I believe in Jersey, but they're a franchise that's like all over the states. So it's very popular dinner and a movie dinner or dinner theater type experience with like jesters and a fake king, and the crowd gets divided into like blue and red so that you feel like you care about your knight who is fighting for you. It is massively cheesy, but it's just another type of circus. And
Wow.
I haven't been to one in a long, I've never been to one. I've never
I've
been.
never been. I've never been. I've only heard tell. I've been to a Renaissance fair, but I've not had the joy of going to a medieval times. To confirm, it appears that some might have a jumbotron.
Oh, freaking awesome. I love it. And I guess it's all forms of like spectation and there's just an interesting parallel to the other things that are about like watching a live event, because I'm also thinking about circuses and like when you get clowns that are interacting with the audience, and like how you, well, if you're me, you're terrified that they're going to actually interact with you and you try to
Sure.
hide under your seat naturally. Um, but if you do get interacted with and everybody sees you being silly and like, ooh, a thing is happening to me and I feel kind of famous in this place where we are here to look at a few people who are incredible. Which again, it goes back to this thing where we just want to be like, yeah, you're above it all. You're a
Yeah, and
superlative.
yes, and two, the you're right to I feel like the idea of the spectator and like when you might feel fear of being singled out in some way, like and the invitation of someone
Mm,
waving to you
mm,
and you know exactly what you're supposed to do, like being put on the spot
mm,
to like entertain me, like the microphone can also be terrifying to a lot of people, but there's nothing, so it's like that person, they're playing the queen on the ship and you are playing the role of the peasant on the shores
yes.
waving your kerchief. Have a great journey.
Literally, the times that I've imagined myself having a kerchief while waving cannot be numbered on two hands. It's really, really wonderful. There is, and there, you know what? I think that there is a romance to these modes of transportation too, to trains and boats in particular.
Yes, right.
They're rooted in their legacy of being technologically advanced and actually having to be of a higher class to be able to go places, and then also being the height of luxury hundreds of years, 100 years ago. And so it's like a mini imaginary cosplay moment for
Yes.
everybody.
Yes, totally. I'm cracking up. Like this is hypothesis number 4 is like the romance,
Hmm.
because I was just imagining trying to enact this with someone like waiting to board a plane would be so crazy. No one no one would understand. It would not go according to plan. You're just like waiting at the gate. You've got your hand, like one hand like holding 4 jackets, the other hand you're like balancing your all of your devices with like your snacks you just got. And someone's like waving to you and you're like, "Dude, what do you
Yes.
want from me?" There's nothing romantic about that. There's no
Nope.
play. We're not transported into this like into this universe of cheese and fun, and instead you're just like, okay, we're just doing this.
We're j- I think you are onto something because like there was a romance to air travel in like the 50s, you know? And even before then, like Humphrey Bogart, I'm
You know
thinking
what? You're
Casablanca
right. If it's
days.
outside, it's
Yeah.
different. If you're
Yes.
boarding your plane from
Yes.
outside, you're
Yes.
allowed to do this. But if you're just waiting in the gate
Yes.
check in the terminal, there's no romance. You're too close. There's nothing romantic
Yes.
about that. But there is about like walking up those steps. You're right.
Yes.
There it
Yes.
is.
And you hit another thing, which is that, like, we just don't think about it perhaps as often because if you're walking up the steps at a modern airport, you're very far away from anyone who is also not getting on the plane. Like, there's no audience to look at
That's
you
right. Right.
like, elbowing on your way up because it's just like, yeah, we're all getting on it, dude. Like,
I am also boarding this plane.
yeah. Like, I can't wave at you as though you are better than me because we are the same. And we're just going to Raleigh. We're just going to North Carolina right now. Like, it's too real. It's too real in that instance. Ooh, that is another thing, which is that, like, planes and, like, the process of boarding a plane and the process of going to the airport and all of that is super routine, super controlled, and super, as a
Yes.
result of that, is, like, very familiar, like, what
Yes.
you're going to experience from beginning to end.
Right.
And, like, you're going to be on boats and trains more rarely. And so there is even a mystery to, like, where do I go once I get on the boat? Where, and if I'm on like a cruise, oh my God, the waving on the top of cruise ships. I love it. Cruise ships leaving and all the people on the top deck waving at a cruise ship that is coming in. And you are literally just like, I'm about to go on my adventure. You're coming back from your adventure and you don't want it to be over. I feel even better. My adventure's just starting. Like, it's
Yes.
all...
Yes, it's like, and maybe this also helps explain why kids feel like they're the first responders in an interaction like this, is because there's something about the joy of that novel experience and feeling like you're taking it all in. Like there's something, like there is a little cheese and corn in being like, wow, I'm on a boat. I'm doing this, and someone else acknowledging like, yes, you are, and that is great.
I like that we can, like, hold on to a little bit of quiet cheese and corn in those moments because it is like, you're not in. There are faster ways to get to where you're going, so what you are doing is purposeful. Like, there is something to it.
Right, and that's why even, like, the distinction between, the New York City subway, no one's gonna be waving to anyone,
Right. Well,
through there. Well,
yes.
no.
I have seen kids. Well, I do. There's a little bit of that. But it's always like it's very, very, it's not the same. It's very, very, very young kids. And it's usually, they're just crawling in the window and they want to wave anyway. But I was also thinking, speaking of trains, roller coasters too. Like, this will happen on roller coasters if a coaster is in the brake run, the final brake run when they're waiting to come into the station.
Yes.
It's like you wave at the people who are in line about to get on this amazing ride if you can see them. And you also feel very on display because, like, they're looking at you and they want to see, were you happy? Like, was that a fun ride? Was that one that I'm going to be excited to take? And I love watching people wave from a roller coaster car to the people in line who are sweaty and gross and they've got sunscreen in their eye and it's burning. And then they just light up and they're like, I'm waiting for something exciting. This is going to be good.
Yes. And actually, like, related to this piece is this, like, what lets people's guards down? I think this is, like, why is it that these types of interactions would inspire people who don't know each other, complete strangers, to interact in such a way, so vulnerably, so friendly like this? And maybe I'm just, obviously culturally this ranges, but at least here in the States, I feel like it's in that moment, it's like, well, for a coaster, this is a thing that we're not doing together. Maybe that would add more pressure. It actually helps that we're not doing it together. It's that you already did it. You are my mentor. You are my sage advisor. You're going to tell me how what I need to know before I'm roller coaster freshman over here. And like that, we're bonding. It's happening.
It's really, and the way that bond happens across language barriers, across cultural barriers, like, it doesn't matter. Like, that is a fairly widespread international phenomenon to be able to do that with people. Like, when we went to Japan and we were riding roller coasters in Japan, or when I've done it in like Holland and in the Netherlands, like that behavior is the same no matter what country or theme park you're in. Likewise, obviously, we're talking about modes of transit. Like these are the things that then become sort of
Yes.
like things that lots of humans around the world get to connect with each other through, even if they can't
Yes.
speak to each other.
And it helps that it's so specific. Like this is kind of a negative example and maybe not exactly the same, but the other day I am walking on my commute and I watch a man who's sort of like stumbling around
Mm.
barrel straight into an older woman. Like just like sort of just stumbling around like bang like straight into her. And like keeps moving on, and she's like clearly so startled and disoriented. And I'm like, I stop. I'm otherwise, in my tunnel vision commute mode, but I stop and I'm like, are you okay? That was crazy.
Yes.
And she's like, that's fine. And then I'm like, okay. And then zoop, back into the mode, because in that moment it was just such a tiny microscopic shared experience. Where
Yes.
I don't know her. I don't want to impose any additional connection that need not be there. But in that human shared moment of like, that was bizarre. And also, are you like, did you get hurt? Like that is permission enough just in that small scope to connect with each other. And in a way, I feel like, the you and I were on this roller coaster. You and I'm just looking at you on a boat. I know what that's like. Like, in theory, I know what that's like. Aspirationally, I know what it's like to be on a boat.
Yes, 100%.
It controls the environment.
It controls the environment and it like calibrates it so that the two of you are in the same place. Yeah. And like, and I think, there's something really, I mean, I'm not going to go super woo-woo deep on this, but like, I do think that we're social creatures and there is an innate and widespread fear of being alone. So like, ergo, any moment of feeling seen, of connecting, of just not experiencing something alone is meaningful. And like, is a way like that moment of like, sort of just like saying to that woman, like, I saw that happen. Like even that alone, let alone are you okay, is sort of like, you didn't just experience that in a vacuum. You don't have to sit in your head and go like, did that just happen?
Yeah, what
like,
the heck was that? What? Right.
Yes.
It's like, no, that what? And then you're like, yeah, that was crazy.
Yes. And it's like, okay, good. We are existing in the same place at the same time. Good. Yeah. The rules of social interaction haven't been rewritten without someone telling me first. Thank God. And I do think that is there is some consistency, humanity, and resolve in that way from a boat that's the same. That's like, yes, we're in it.
Yes. We're back around to hypothesis 1, part 2. I see you in that way, right? Like, not just like spotted. It's also like, yeah, I get what you're doing. Like, I see what's happening. I'm celebrating your whimsical joy aboard that trolley.
Oh, I love this. I'll probably end up saying it in the special thanks, but like I have done the New York City Transit Museum, which is so good in Brooklyn.
So good.
Oh, could not recommend it enough. And then there's also an LA train museum. There's a train festival that's happening in September at Union Station, and that's going to be cool.
For toy trains or big trains?
Big train, well, actually both, but mostly big trains. So you can get on different engines and that are like modern, and then all the way back to the early 1900s. Again, I am married to a train nerd. I have to learn these things by proxy. And so like being able to actually get on those things is really, really fun. And being able to find models and see models that you couldn't really see on the East Coast or have been defunct for a long time is cool. But then there's also an outdoor LA train museum in the LA Zoo, or near the old the new LA Zoo in Griffith Park. And we're going there. We're going there next weekend, and we are going to the big train museum. This show in Union Station in September. So I'm plugging all those because there are train things everywhere.
There are trains all around.
They are, and they're cool.
As stated in Love Actually, trains are all around.
All around? Jess. Yes, Jess. Famously quoted. Famously.
Right, as everyone says and knows.
Indeed. Is that are we pulling into the toot toot honk honk steampunk
toot toot
wrap up corner?
Beep, beep.
I think we're in it. I think we're in it. What did we learn?
What we learned is that there is this remarkable humanity in moments where, for all kinds of reasons, we wave to each other from boats and trains. We see each other playing the game of Where's Waldo? We feel protected and secure in the armor of the duck boat. We revel in the microscopic fame of standing on the starboard side, and other people join in with that because there is a kind of romance to all of this that we've seen in the movies that we all kind of think on and like to play our little roles, whether you're the queen or whether you're the peasant. Because it creates these itty bitty tiny shared experiences, moments where we can let our walls down and just be people with each other. And I guess the epilogue is go do a train thing near you.
Literally. I mean, I loved growing up in Ohio because they would take a lot of those old trains and then turn them into playgrounds. And so, like,
cool.
You could get in the caboose and, like, turn wheels and stuff and, like, pull the horn on the engine. So I couldn't underscore that epilogue enough. Check out your trains. They're very cool.
Critical Nonsense is a Sylvain production.
Brought to you by Ketchup Kerchiefs. The perfect kerchief to take as you wander the world from tomato-strewn lands in the east to tomato-splattered lands in the west. Tie your hair in a bun. Tie it around your wrist just for extra flounce. And if you feel really bold and really daring, tie it around your neck. Why? Because it's a ketchup kerchief.
No!
There we go. Ran down that one.
Oh man. We would like to thank sound engineer Alex Contel for being the engine behind this train.
Toot toot. Beep beep. We also want to thank executive producer and just like person who understands the power of coal in a steam powered boat, Jess Vander. Thank you, Jess. You're the best co-host ever.
We'd also like to thank programming coordinator and the Jumbotron. No, is that desirable?
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Just like the best kind. Les Jacobs.
Oh, and you cannot move down the mighty Mississippi unless you've got paddles. And the paddles on the paddle wheel boat of this podcast called Critical Nonsense are the production crew of Zara Gilbert, Nora Mestrich, Christy Jensen, Amanda Medina, and Amy Waters.
Wow. And as always, thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir.
Special thanks.
Yeah.
Special thanks.
Ooh. Ketchup Kerchiefs, they really spent a lot of money on that spot this week. Like, they might have funded this podcast for the next 3 years. It's great. That was a really useful one.
No idea what that is.
No, not at all. I mean, this is a moment where I would like to especially thank my dad, I think. Yeah. My dad and his old business partner from when I was a kid, because they were really into trains. They got me into trains to a certain degree, a little bit. So I had lots of model trains. I had H scale growing up. I had a whole Bavarian city that they had
Cool.
created, and it was huge, and it was in the business partner's basement. And so I do think that was a little bit of an on-ramp to my coaster love, even though I do not love trains as my dad and my husband do. So thank you, Dad and Dr. Mulvey, for getting me on the train wagon. Yeah.
Wow, getting you your start. That's cool. I guess I should shout out my buddy Roddy, who taught me everything that I know about trains, which is limited, small quantity. But I learned that they're way cooler than I had previously given them thought, at least in sort of the intricacies of. And I will say, at least as as a rider, gotta love a train experience. I'm big on that. Huge train as sort of a mode of getting around, kind of.
It's great. You know what? Yes. So Roddy, good for you. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
And special thanks. I think it's called the Road to 46, 49. I'll look it up in the show notes and it'll be actually correct. But it's this amazing train ride that we did in Alaska. And it takes you down a path that a bunch of settlers took to actually, settlers, big air quotes on that one, through Klondike country to understand how it was settled and the story of it and all that. Again, air quotes around settled. But it was really, really cool to see how treacherous that was back in the middle 1800s. And
that's cool.
All that. Yeah. Beautiful way to see Alaska too. Not mad about it. Yeah.
Wow. Well, thanks, Aaron. This was fun.
Yes. A joy, as always. A joy and a relief. A balm to the soul. Indeed.
All right. See you soon, everybody.
Yep. Bye, y'all.